starting the show. All right. So, I haven't eaten at all today. So I don't know how long I'm going to.
Hold on a second here. No music, no intro, no nothing. Just start talking, okay? Just go. You're listening to Transparency and Merit. And today is July 7th, 2021. Blackjack. Go ahead.
That is correct. It is 2007, 2021. And I think people should work hard. And I didn't even put the date on this thing, so I'm gonna have to go in and just edit it just for the date. But I wanted to just say that I strive to work hard, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I overeat. But for the most part, I'm not doing that. Now, Joey is wanting me to lead in with crypto, and you know what? I have been hearing that crypto is dead. That you might a lot of the people who have been into crypto are now saying get out as quickly as you can. And I think Joe has a completely different opinion on that. I want to hear his response.
Well, to get to crypto, which really should not make up your entire portfolio. Don't be aggressive in any one thing right now, but here's the deal. The Federal Reserve owns it all. Since 2008, Brian, there have been instruments put into play that have completely taken over and disenfranchised the middle class, and a lot of suckers that got screwed in 2008 may never be able to buy again a home, for all I know, until this market completely crashes. One interesting bit of info that I find happening in the market, it's, if you're looking at the overall market, it's hitting record highs almost every day now, or weekly at very least. There's new record highs, and some people are complaining that they're not making money. It's this dead market and all of this and that. But if you are on the right side of how the market has been moving, and you're not listening to all of the internet pundits, then there's so much opportunity that it's worthwhile to kind of keep an eye on these things. The military-industrial complex will never let the price of oil fall, not in this market. So they have and they will do whatever it takes to keep that price up. Some of the biggest analysts out there have $100 a barrel targets for gas prices. I've been in the crude oil market for the first time in my life, and all I can say is it is the only way to offset the high prices of gas that you're paying at the pump. It's really a thing. When I said at $35 a barrel, I said I see barrels of oil going up to $75, and people laughed at me. They didn't listen to me, and guess what happened? The price of oil right now is at $75 a barrel, which gives a lot more room for upward momentum. I don't know. I mean, I don't want the price of oil to go up to $100 a barrel. It's all based on hoax and fake news. But keep your eye on that market for sure. And you want to have hard assets. You want to own instead of flipping papers around. You want to own. You want to have. I think silver is probably the best buy out there, but Gold is also going to go up. Same with crypto. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. Everybody says no. Everybody says it's done, but I think they're completely wrong. And a lot of people agree with me, but and a lot of people who are much better at financial advice are better than me. I'm not a financial advisor, but I wish I was. But the people I trust and the people that I know who have not been wrong in the last 2 years, and what matters more than being right in a wrong system, these are the guys I'm listening to, and they haven't been wrong. So and they think crypto will go up, and there's no glass ball here, but I'm just keeping it diversified, betting against the debt, trying to be my own central bank, and these are the key fundamentals, and owning some hard assets. What say you? Do you have any thoughts on these ideas?
Well, there are definitely things that should be explored, and be explored with a rational and reasonable mind as much as you can. You also have to realize that markets aren't based on rationality and reason. They are unpredictable. Um, the only thing that really you can do is try to work as hard as you can. One of the things that I'm doing, and this may be off topic, is I am fasting. I'm monitoring my hunger when I eat, and that does help me center my mind and my brain on on the things to come. And I think you want to be a rational and reasonable person. And I certainly have thoughts about being around people who have a shared reality, and that's the main thing that I want to do. I want to get with people who have the same form of reality, as close to the same shared reality as I do, and that's important to me. And we're seeing a time where there is not a shared reality. There's an alternative universe out there with people.
We're in a time where nobody can agree with anybody, right?
You're right, man.
If it's not one thing, it's another thing, and no matter, I may agree with you on 10 points until you bring up that one point I disagree on. Suddenly there's a line in the sand, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating when people should be thinking at a much higher level. They should face the ugly reality. They should face it. They should face truth and not deny truth from being spoken. For some reason, people what I think is that the power brokers out there, the people who are benefiting from this sick, twisted, disgusting stock market, this disgusting, awful display of politics on both sides of the spectrum. No matter where you are, if you're picking red or blue, you're in the wrong, in my view. And if people, and what people seem to think is, if the truth is spoken, these things will come down crashing. That's what I truly think. I think if the truth is spoken, they will be faced with the most change they've ever witnessed, and that scares a lot of people, and they don't want that boat rocked. I know our views are different, but there's already some immense changes going on.
Let me go back to this. Yeah, there are immense changes going on. And again, they're unpredictable. It's unpredictable how the world, like how people are gonna, what people are thinking, what the polls say, what this says, what that says. There is a control. You know what I mean? Never before have we seen the elites wanting to control information. And when people like Brian Stelter say freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of reach, that is such a selfish, I feel to a degree that the elites, the mainstream people who control the media, are very self-centered, very self-righteous people, and they're showing they're taking off the mask and they're showing us for who they really are. And maybe they've always been that way. I have a theory that they were not, and that they were more acceptable to criticism and able to admit when they were wrong. I think that people grew up in a different era. I said before we started the show, I was watching just a slight documentary about Red Skeleton, and here was a man who had to leave his home, I think when he was maybe 12 or maybe even younger, as a child, leave his home because there was such hunger. And those are third world problems today. And people tend to over dramatize their lives and their problems. And Red Skeleton never did any of that. You know, he was always about laughing and having as clean and as wholesome comedy as possible. And he grew up in a very nasty, poverty-stricken environment for the first half of his life. And people tend to think that if you're a certain color, it's really bad. I mean, compared to what happened before with anybody of any race or any ethnicity, your life was very hard, and getting a meal was hard. We take for granted that food, the grocery stores are packed with food, and that we have the means to eat. And we may not have that sooner, at some point.
So here's another interesting point of fact that's been going on, because I've been paying attention to the Federal Reserve chair people that come out and they talk every week about various things, from the unemployment numbers, which are staggering, and the inflation, which is staggering. And week after week, up until this week, they keep saying, this is a transitory state of inflation. And we are in a booming economy. We are on the way up. But this couldn't be any further from the truth, as the numbers indicate, and they keep undershooting the numbers too, which is kind of a sign that they know better, but they're just kind of downplaying the situation. But we have high unemployment rates going up between 300,000 and 400,000 new applicants a week. We have new pressure, downward pressure on some of the metals, which is kind of interesting. We see the prices of silver and gold going down when in a time when the prices of anything at the market has gone up by something like, I've heard 60%. So going to the supermarket and going to the gas pump now, gas is up, and I've seen nearly $5 a gallon in Northern California, $4.20 here. Just insane rises in these essentials, and yet we don't see any progress in how much money we're making. We're a country, and all you have to do is look at your keyboard to know. Look at the dollar sign on your keyboard. What does it have there? What is the symbol that you're looking at there? It's the symbol. Look it up. I'm not making this up. I want you guys to do the research. But if you look at your keyboard, you look at the dollar sign, it's an S with one slash going through it. When we were children, Brian, we used to write the dollar sign with two slashes through it. Do you remember this?
I do remember that. Yeah.
You do? Okay, so let me tell you the difference. A dollar sign with two slashes through it is gold. A dollar sign with one slash through it is silver. All you have to do is look. It's the Mexican translation. We're working for. So here's the big problem in America. We're working for pesos. Which is 100 to 1. We're working for pesos. We're working for silver, but guess what? Guess what, Brian? We're paying the debt off in gold. So we are spending in gold, but we are earning in silver. It couldn't be any clearer to people who have eyes to see these things. And so therein lies the major financial fiasco that's going on as the money, and no doubt there's already a digital currency, a digital dollar ready to go. And there's so much push back against going to a digital currency, and rightfully so. We should never do that. We should always be able to have something in our hands, because once we do, it would be the greatest single loss of freedom that you've ever seen. Just imagine having a digital currency, a digital dollar, and not paying some sort of bill that is overdue, your electric bill or something, and not gaining access to your digital dollar. These are, and that's just an example. I don't know what would happen, but I just think it would be a real loss of freedom. So there's a lot of pushback and a lot of talk about going back to a metals-based dollar. And I'm hoping, that for the best on that, of course. But right now we're just in a state where, like I said, we are spending in gold, but we are earning in silver, and that's created the debt.
Well, like I said, this is something that we should be talking about and continue to talking about. That, and also personal improvement, because no matter what comes your way, the stronger you are, the more resilient. And as a Stoic, I always prepare for the worst, hope for the best, but I always prepare for the worst. And the best may be yet to come, but also the worst may be yet to come. And at the end of the day, we're all going to die. One day I will die. So will Joe. And so will all of us. In 100 years from now, probably no one will remember who we are on average. And definitely 1,000 years from now, they won't remember who we are. So,
well, I have evidence of this. In my family, I have cousins who have made music for 50 years. 50 years, not 100 years, 50 years. All right? And nobody remembers anything they did in 1972. Nobody. And so it's a continual reattachment. It's a reconnection to their material that has to be refreshed every year. And when that happens, it gets bigger over time as more generations are bestowed. They're given this kind of like a goose egg to follow and remember. And it's a real interesting phenomenon, because if they don't do the work to reconnect to their earliest matters or materials, if they don't continually reconnect and record, then it goes away and it gets dusted over and it becomes less significant. And so you see, without that work behind it, there's not going to be a legacy. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting phenomenon. You're muted.
Joe, with that being said, I think we will call it a day. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Joe, is there anything to say before we end our...
Well, people need just to have, I'm just talking from what I look into. And I think I see things a lot differently than a lot of people, because people are happy in their existence, or they're trying to be happy or find happiness and some level of freedom in their existence. And I just urge people, the best way to start looking into a lot of things. And one controversial thing I say is that I don't think politicians lie. I think they just speak in a language that nobody understands. And the best way to battle this is to continually go into your dictionaries or thesauruses and refresh your brain on words that are you may take for granted. Because when they're being used by politicians, I can almost guarantee you those words that they are speaking to you mean a totally different thing than what you think it does. And it's mind boggling on one level, but it's also above board as far as they see it. And it's on you. It's on you and you and you. And I'm here for you and you and you. And I want people to come to me for coaching. I want people to come to me for ideas, because, and to share ideas with, and they should with you too, because I see you searching. But we got to make sure we're instilling maybe my favorite word in the dictionary, that when I went back and re-looked at it, I realized I didn't know what it meant. And I urge everybody to know the word discernment. Understand the meaning and learn words, relearn words that you use and that you hear and that you think you know. And it doesn't hurt to look, and it is mind-blowing on every level. So that's all I got to say on that. Go to our website, transparencyandmerit.com.
That was a lot to unwrap. We will continue this conversation at another date. But as always, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also please visit our website, transparencyandmerit.com. We are working on this. So thank you for listening.